Most people think artificial intelligence is here to replace them. That's the wrong way to look at it. The real power is in using AI to augment yourself, to think faster, create faster, and work at a level that used to be impossible on your own. In this video, we will talk about 7 ways to do exactly that with ChatGPT-5. So let's start with the first one, idea amplification. What is idea amplification? You know when you get stuck in a single idea or train of thought and you don't know where to take it? Idea amplification basically means we use ChatGPT to bombard us with dozens of different variations and angles to what we were originally thinking. Then one of those inevitably clicks in our head and we're not stuck anymore. For example, if we type in something like this prompt here, and we run it, GPT-5 gives us different expressions, different angles, different audiences, and suddenly, instead of staring at one option, we're looking at a whole menu. And that changes the way we create. We're not locked in to one fragile idea, we're choosing the best one out of a list of possibilities. That's idea amplification. So that's the first way GPT-5 augments us. Now let's look at the second. Workflow automation. What does automating a workflow mean? Any grunt task that we repeat more than once can be offloaded to GPT-5. Things like emails, descriptions, summaries, the stuff that drains time but doesn't require any deep thought. Instead of grinding through it, we can design prompts that work like little assistants. One creates a daily task list, another drafts emails in our chosen tone, yet another condenses a long article in key points. This isn't about being lazy, it's about clearing away the repetitive noise so that our focus can remain on the things that matter. It allows us to have more output for the same amount of time. That is workflow automation. Next, let's move into something people severely underuse. Research power. How do we use GPT-5 for research? These days, we're surrounded by endless information. Articles, PDFs, transcripts, reports. Normally, it would take hours to dig through all of that stuff. But using GPT-5, we can scan it almost instantly. We do this by uploading our file or simply pasting our text and prompting it properly. See this prompt here, for example. GPT-5 distills it into a clean summary with key takeaways. We can ask it to highlight contradictions, pull out action steps. We can also ask it to cross-check facts online, but we need to give it clear instruction on where to get them. So, instead of spending hours skimming, we walk away with clarity in minutes. That's research power. Now let's get into something more exciting. Skill acceleration. What is skill acceleration? Every skill has 2 lanes, the slow lane and the fast lane. The fast lane is when you can immediately have any specific question answered for you and immediately put that knowledge into practice. When we hear a concept that we don't understand, we can ask ChatGPT to, for example, explain this like I'm 12. And it breaks it down in plain language. Of course, this is just a simple example. You can go much more in depth with your prompts depending on what you're learning. You can essentially transform it into a tailor-made teacher just for you. If you want to practice, we can have it quiz us, drill us, or roleplay as a coach or another student. This isn't passive learning. This is active training with a personal tutor that never gets tired. That's how learning curves collapse. Weeks of trial and error can shrink into days. That's skill acceleration. So that's how to learn faster. Before we keep going, I would like to take this time to share a free resource. If you want to go deeper with ChatGPT-5, and especially if you want to learn how to create things you can sell with it, I made an entire system for product creation with GPT-5 called CreatorCore. I'm giving away part of it, including a quick start guide for free. The link's in the description. Check it out. Alright, let's keep going with the next point. Decision support. How do we use ChatGPT in decision making? Making decisions drains energy. We go back and forth between options, second guess ourselves constantly, and we stall. GPT-5 can help us cut through all that quickly by laying it all out on the table. First, we lay out the situation and ask it to break things down. Pros, cons, risks, blind spots. Like this prompt here, for example. It doesn't choose for us, but it clears the fog in a clear and rational way. Now, instead of spinning in circles, we can see the full picture, and once we see it clearly, making the call is much simpler. That's decision support. Now let's look at another way GPT-5 can help us. Organization. How can we use ChatGPT to organize? Most of us carry too much in our heads. Tasks, notes, ideas, goals. It all gets jumbled and eventually we drop the ball. So we can use GPT-5 to clear out some of that clutter. We can feed it a messy brain dump of all our half-finished thoughts, our lists of things to do and so on. We can have it sorted into categories, timelines and priorities. Suddenly what felt overwhelming can even become a structure. We can even have it track projects, organize resources, or build systems that keep us consistent. It's like an external brain that never forgets and never gets tired of organizing. That's what I mean by using GPT-5 for organization. Now let's wrap this up with the last way GPT-5 augments us. Simulation. What can we simulate with ChatGPT? It can actually simulate conversations with anyone or anything. We can rehearse a sales call, an interview, or a tough personal conversation. GPT-5 will roleplay the other side, so we can practice responses and get feedback. Or we can use it just for fun, like talking to historical figures, fictional characters, or even a future version of ourselves. We can even create our own personal companion with specific traits and a specific dialogue style that we can have conversations with about anything. This is not about replacing people, it's about sharpening how we think, how we speak, and sometimes just having a safe space to play with our ideas and to offload our frustrations somewhere. So those were 7 ways that we can augment ourselves with GPT-5. All of these are smart ways to use AI to make our lives easier and to improve ourselves. If you found this video interesting or helpful, consider subscribing and turning on notifications for future videos. I mentioned this earlier in the video, but if you want to go deeper with GPT-5 and learn how to create products you can actually sell, check out CreatorCore. I made this system specifically to augment product creation. It will turn GPT-5 into your personal creative team. It's currently 50% off for the first buyers, so check it out now. Both the free Quick Start and the full version are linked in the description. All the best in your endeavors, and I'll see you in the next one.